Give us your ghost stories, your odd stories of the paranormal. We'll study them. We'll pick them apart. We want to believe them, but will we? We are skeptical believers.
Hey guys, so this is a new thing that I'm doing on my True Hauntings YouTube channel, where my good friend Heather and she has her own podcast, which is Watching Netflix Without You. We are going to chit chat about spooky things that are pretty well known, either in YouTube or in the news, or maybe movies were made about them. I don't know, just famous hauntings. So hi, Heather.
Hi.
How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm good. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Awesome. We are calling this Skeptical Believers. That is the name of this little thing that we're doing together. And we're going to do it like once or twice a month, whenever we can. So we're both busy, famous podcasters. So, we have to fit this into our schedule. So, right?
Yes. Definitely with the famous.
Yes.
I mean, I can't walk down the street. People stop me. It's getting bad.
Yeah, grocery shopping is just terrible. It's terrible. My hand is sore from all the autographs. So, yeah. So today we're going to talk about Dear David, which is originated on Twitter. And this guy tells on Twitter about his apartment being haunted by this dead kid. And his opening line is, "My apartment is haunted by a dead child who wants to kill me." So we're going to talk about his whole thing and how it ended and what we think about it. How skeptical are we? What is our level of skepticism? Ooh, we should come up with
That's a great idea.
Like 1 out of
Off
5.
the cuff, you're a genius.
Yes, right? That's what I get paid the no bucks for.
On a scale of like 1 to 10 ghosts, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll ponder that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But we should have a scale. I agree with that concept entirely.
Yes. So we're going to share our screen so that we can show you little photos and videos that he posted. And I will put the link for it in the description so that you guys can check that out too. And it's on Twitter. He started doing it on Twitter, and then it became like this big deal, and everybody covered it on YouTube. And there's like 1 million YouTube videos, so we're just one of 1 million. But we're awesome, so... It is what it is.
If you say it like this, it's better. We're 1 in 1 million.
Yes, there you go.
1 in 1 million, guys.
It's all in how you say it. So, basically, long story short, this guy is in an apartment in New York, and he starts having weird things happen, and he gets some evidence, photo and video, and eventually... Well, evidence is, we'll get into that. So
we're going to put some air quotes around the evidence.
Yeah. We are
starting strong
believers.
With my skepticism.
Yeah.
We are.
So we believe some things, maybe not all the things. So what do you think? What do you think about it?
I mean, for the record, I believe none of the things. In this particular case, I'm very, very skeptical.
Yeah.
And when we get to my master theory, you will see why.
Nice.
Do we want to go to the first pictures or videos of this whole process?
Let's jump right into it. He has cats.
So he starts,
and I love his cats. So
his cats are great.
Yes, his cats are awesome.
His cats, by the way, and one of my notes of skepticism is, he's like, my cats are acting all weird. And I'm like, your cats are acting like cats act normally. Cats do really weird things, man, like bat the air when there's nothing there. My cat does that. My cat suddenly acts like she's freaked out when nothing has happened at all. So I was kind of like, that's just cats, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm over here in Elite Daily, this website. So here's his first tweet, which was, so my apartment is currently being haunted by the ghost of a dead child, and he's trying to kill me. Note, at no point in time did the dead child actually try to kill him. That never came up.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he was just being dramatic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is a great line to open with.
It is.
So,
got my
fairness.
attention.
Yeah. So there's his cat staring at the door, and he said that always happens at midnight.
Would be very easy to just do it at noon. I have no information that tells me otherwise, or that he set the clock to have that time on it.
Yeah.
That is an old school analog clock. So
it is.
Oh, okay, let's watch the first cat video.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yep. Definitely weird cat behavior. No cat has ever stared at a door meowing.
My cat does that on the regular, and she tries to escape, and I don't know why, because she has it so good, and it's so cold outside. Like, it's 10 degrees, cat. What are you doing?
My cat goes, she just wants to leave the apartment.
Yeah.
She's like, why do you have me with 3 deadbolts? What does he have on there? Look at all the locks he has on his door.
He mentions that at one point. He says that, yes, I have all these locks, and yes, it does look like a previous break-in might have occurred because there was some damage on the door. But he lives in New York, and I can't remember what part of New York, so maybe that area is, kind of sketch. Maybe he needs that. I don't know. So, in fairness, if you have a cat that you've had for years, there are typical behaviors and non-typical behaviors, abnormal behaviors. So maybe for this particular cat, maybe doing this is something this cat never did before, and then all of a sudden they started doing it. So,
okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
That could well be the case, but I will point out it doesn't mean ghosts. It just means suddenly the cat's like, you know what? I'm done here and I want out. Yeah. Open this door. Open the door now. Why aren't you opening it?
Right. Right. Maybe a new cat moved in next door. I'm just saying.
Okay. Hey, you know what? That's as good a theory as any. And here we go, just minutes before midnight. Another one. I think she's like, hey, can you let me out now? How about now?
Yeah. Now,
Please?
I need to share that this cat's name is Maxwell, according to his Twitter and everything. And this cat has 3 legs. Look at him.
Aww. Little boo-boo.
I want to smush that kitty cat's face so much.
Oh.
I just want to smush it.
Well,
in a good way.
At any rate...
Yeah.
This is not very compelling evidence so far.
No, yeah.
Another thing also that I noted down, which is the vast majority of all this information is coming just from his written tweets with no audio or video to back up what he's saying. Obviously, a lot of it is dreams. Like, he does say that he has these dreams about David. So, obviously, he can't be like, I videoed my dream for you to see. But, other aspects that I'm just like, that would seem like something you'd want some evidence, that you could easily get evidence for. Recorded himself sleeping. A couple of videos. Video of me taking photo. Oh, this is the Polaroid thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's.
So at one point he gets a Polaroid picture. That's a pretty sweet camera.
So now watch what happens. He leaves it there, And then he walks away. Now, when I saw this in the YouTube video I was watching, let's see if this one's longer. No, it's the same one. He takes the photo out, right? And he puts it down, and then the camera goes somewhere else. And I'm like, no. You're going to need to have that camera on that Polaroid as it fully develops for me to believe that that just came out black like you said it did.
Yeah. That's fair.
I also... Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
I did a little research on Polaroid cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Cindy, you may remember Polaroid cameras from your youth.
Why would you think I would remember that? How dare
because
you?
We're super young.
How dare you?
Right. Yes, I do.
They just had the one button, right? You put the thing in, you didn't even put anything. You just bought it. It was this huge chunk of a thing with one little eye hole and a button, and you just took your photos. Apparently modern Polaroids, because they're super expensive now, by the way, Polaroid cameras. I was like, I should get one for Christmas for the kids. It'll be fun. I was like, nope, we're getting something else. That's fine. They have settings on them. So you can get a black background or black spots. Apparently, if you don't have the right sensitivity setting on the Polaroid camera, this is apparently a thing. And the other thing I'll say, because he doesn't have a camera on the photo fully developing right there, he pans away from it and comes back to it. It would be very easy to just turn off the lights in the living room, take a picture, and then that's the picture he comes back to later, or he did it beforehand or something. That is just too easy to fake, in my opinion, for it to be convincing for me.
Yeah. It's not controlled enough. I agree with that for sure. Yeah. All
right, let's see here. What's this one? Oh, this is more photo taking. We're gonna, if you don't mind, I'll skip that.
No, yeah.
The chair. Okay, here's one I definitely wanted to go over. The chair is gonna start rocking. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
Now, how many ways can you rig a chair to rock on command?
A million ways, and let's not. Yeah. And I mean, there's strings. There's also just CGI now. Like, apparently digital manipulation has gotten so good in this day and age that it's almost indecipherable from genuine digital information.
So with that being said, how do you prove, if you really have activity in your home, how would one convince others that that is the case? Because truly, you can fake pretty much anything nowadays.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, what if I met like an alien, like one of those little green men? And I was like, you know what? I've got a Google Pixel. It's got a great camera. Can I take a picture? Thanks so much. And then the next thing I know, everyone would be like, it's a fake.
Yeah.
That's a fake picture. So it's like you can't really win.
Yeah.
Here's my theory on the rocking chair. People in the apartment below are doing jazzercise. And the chair's just moving a little from the motion.
At one point, I caught that he says he lives near a subway station. And he says that it shakes the building sometimes. And that he can even feel the building sway a little bit from the subway system. So, but he only mentions that he's near that and that it shakes the building once. But I caught it, and I was like, wait, because later he says, at one point the room was shaking, and I thought, but wait, you said you're close to a subway, so,
Well, can I talk about that for a minute? Because it's one of the points I wanted to bring up. I didn't even think about that. I must have missed it somehow of the subway thing. But if that's the case, then yes, that's definitely why he felt that the room was shaking. Mm-hmm. But other than that, there are actually reasons that you might feel like your body is shaking if it isn't, or feel like the room is shaking if it isn't. And one of those is multiple sclerosis, right? One of them is if you've had too much caffeine. And I'll tell you what, I used to drink 10 cups of coffee a day. I'd lie down at night and I'd be like, why do I feel like my whole body and my bed is shaking?
Wow.
And I'd sit up. So then when I got off of all that caffeine, it stopped happening. So this kind of leads me a little bit into my first theory. He might have a medical condition that he needs to get checked out.
Yeah. Okay.
Or it's the subway. That's probably a better theory.
I can't have caffeine, so that theory never occurred to me. I'm just not used to that. I don't have that feeling ever, so that's a good point.
Yep. Oh, and now we have, is this the one where the turtle shell falls? Let's see.
I think probably. It's that round, dark thing above the bookcase. If this is the video, that thing falls.
There it is. Okay, it suddenly falls. So
how could one achieve that? Bang on the wall on the other side? Like be around that corner and boop, give it a little. But
maybe
then you would
the
hear
nail. You would hear it, yeah. But I'm thinking, there could be somebody that pulled it with a string down off of a very unsturdy nail. He could have just. That could have just been a coincidence where, have you ever been like sleeping and suddenly it's like thump, something falls off the shelf or falls off the wall, or you're just sitting in your room or your office minding your own business and some inanimate object takes it upon itself to move.
Yeah.
And we don't usually immediately go, oh, it's a ghost. You think, oh, the nail gave out, or oh, it must have been at a wrong angle and it suddenly just fell or something. You know, after the initial terror because you weren't expecting an inanimate object to suddenly move.
Yeah.
But I think it could be something like that. When I first watched it, and I didn't know that it was a turtle shell, and the video actually cut off before the turtle shell. So, like, if here's a turtle shell, you could only see below it in the video. So suddenly you see this dark thing falling seemingly out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, well, that's a palmetto bug. Have you ever been to Florida? They are humongous.
Girl, I am from Florida.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I am very familiar with palmetto bugs. They are Satan in bug form.
Yes. But then he's like, it was this turtle shell. I was like, oh, I really like my palmetto bug theory, though.
Those things always fly right at my head every time.
Oh, they are. Oh my, just don't even get me started on that. That's going to take a whole tangent.
Yeah.
But I think he actually is in New York, so they don't really get them there.
Yeah.
That size, they don't get them. Okay.
Let's see what other evidence.
Maxwell. Okay, so here's more typical cat behavior. Let's check it out. There they are, looking around.
It says Maxwell freaks out and jumps over something invisible. I don't know.
And then looks
My cat
back
hops
like
around all the time.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say. He also, the cat does, in fairness, he does kind of look back like he did just jump over something and he's looking back at it. But he also doesn't seem particularly disturbed by the incident.
Yeah.
He just seems like he's like, I just hopped. I don't know.
It's weird with cats. I feel like it would be maybe a little easier if it were dogs because dogs are more persistent. I know that when I was having a haunting in another house I lived in, I had put something, we'll call it an artifact, from my grandparents' house, a very haunted artifact. I had put it in my closet of my master bedroom. And no lie, one of my dogs at the time started barking at the closet after I put the thing in there, and she was insistent. She was like growling, barking angrily at the closet. And then when I took the artifact out and I gave it to someone else so that it was not in my home anymore, she stopped and never did it again.
Did you just curse somebody for life? Did you give them a haunted artifact? Are they dead? How are they doing?
It was my cousin, and she actually recently gave it back to me, so it's back in my home again. But I don't have a dog now, so... And it's
so you have it back.
Yeah, it's sitting on my piano in my living room. Yep. So, yeah.
Hey, you know what? Maybe you want to go and get one of those dolls, like that doll in the glass case, and bring that on home with you.
Annabelle?
Daredevil. Yeah, just go get her.
On that
like,
one.
You know what? I've already got a haunted artifact. I'll just get a couple more. It's fine.
All right. We should do a YouTube video just about my haunted artifact sometime, because that
We
would be
should.
interesting. Anyway.
Okay, so here's his last video recorded thing from that night. Oh, yeah, this one.
Oh, yeah. The cat bats at something in the air. I don't know. Like, I get bananas sometimes from Sam's, and I don't know why, but whenever I get bananas from Sam's, I end up with those little fruit fly looking things, the little tiny gnat looking ones. And those things are persistent, and it only takes one to just annoy you. So
It really does.
it could easily be something actual. Oh my God. Like on cue, there's one literally right now flying around my head. Are you kidding me? I can't believe this. Anyway.
That's I think probably the most likely theory there, and it killed me because he was like tweeting, he's like, you might think it's a fly, but I don't get flies. I was like, hold the phone there, buddy boy.
Right.
Everybody gets flies. Don't act like you're superior, flyless apartment.
Right.
I don't think
Only
so.
3 times in the whole years that I've lived here is what he said. You counted? Like, 3 times?
No.
Okay.
What about the summer? I guarantee you in the summertime, the flies, we can't get rid of them in the summertime. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Right now, I have them
no
because
flies.
my neighbor, who I love so much, she's so awesome. She gave us a house plant that is really pretty, but when I water it, flies like emerge from it. So I don't know what to do about that. And then so that's where that one came from. Anyway.
Oh, you just reminded me that I have an aloe plant up high above the stairs on a shelf that I've forgotten about for months.
Ooh, you mean you had an aloe plant?
It might still be. I'm going to check it out after this recording. And my husband does sometimes water it. It might be okay. They don't need to be watered too frequently. But once he put it up where I don't pay attention to, it like goes out of my mind.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Let me see here. It's typical cat behavior. Okay, let's try to find a video where supposed faces exist. This was the other thing. You kept seeing random non-existent faces. I mean, let's go check.
I have a really hard time with that whole thing because
We're at the hatch.
Oh, I don't know the name of it, but there's a thing where the human brain will try to find faces where they are not. And there's a name for it, and I can't remember.
Pareidolia.
Yes. See?
I looked it up. Yeah.
You're like the smart one of the two of us. I love it.
I just get into it and I do the research. But it's pareidolia, and that's my second theory, because as I look at these things, I do not see anything that they're talking about. And to further my point, by the way, when he puts when he's doing the Polaroid pictures and he's getting all these black pictures out of the living room, supposedly, he then intentionally puts his finger over the lens and takes a picture. And you can see it looks different from the pitch black of the other pictures that he's taken.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? I see 2 faces in that, and he never brings that up. So I think you can imagine a face easily anywhere you want to. Let's see. Let's do a search for peephole images.
Yeah.
Peephole images. Dear David.
That one I had a problem
here
with
we go.
because peepholes, I mean, those get dirty and dusty and smudgy.
Yes.
And I just don't think that you can trust that. Especially taking a picture through one. That in itself sounds difficult to pull off without some kind of blurring or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be honest, I just kept not being able to actually see. All right, I don't know how to make this full screen, but I'm going to go over and I'll share this one. You see it?
Yes. Yes.
So all I see is a dirty, dirty peephole.
Yeah.
That's all I can see here. I can't even, can I zoom in?
Okay, so that's the one where he said what you're seeing is the ear and then a big head and then an eye. So he was implying that the kid was up against the peephole looking into it with that one eye. So you're seeing like a portion of his head.
I see.
So now Yeah, there's like an ear.
Here's an ear.
Thing, and there's the black right there is the eye. Yes. So that's what he's saying, is that the kid was all up on the peephole trying to look through it at him.
Can you see my cursor as I
Yes.
circle things? Okay,
Yes.
so we've an ear supposedly here,
Yeah.
and an eye all the way down here, well below the ear,
Now,
unlike any normal
I
person's
thought the
eye would be.
ear is that lighter blurb right across from the eye.
Can I zoom? Stop it.
You
Zoom.
guys, this is our
here we
first
go.
time doing this, so we're still learning how to how to use this.
So again, here I really don't see anything convincing other than could be some distortion from the glass of the peephole.
Yeah.
Like, is it supposed to be this? Is it? What am I even looking at? Where am I supposed to imagine a face out of thin air here?
Where
This?
that is a banister, maybe, or I think it's something sticking out. On top of that is some kind of cloudy, distortion that they're saying might be the little boy.
This. No, this.
I don't know, because
Is this a banister?
I can't see your cursor anymore.
Oh. Well, there's a sign on the wall back there,
Yes.
right? And then down
Yeah.
from that is a shelf thing on the left, like
Yes.
a shoe rack.
Yes.
And then
to
there's the other
right,
sort of rectangular looking shape.
yes,
to the
that's
right,
it.
yeah.
That over top of that is supposed to be like a dark gray kind of outline of
I
someone.
mean, I do see that, but it's a really amorphous shape to me. It doesn't look like anything but some dark smudginess or something.
Yeah.
I just don't personally see it.
Yeah. I feel like the human mind could find that if you suggested it, you know.
Okay, let's see. So we went over the rocking chair. We went over. Let's do the warehouse really quick. The warehouse. He's saying there's this big bustling warehouse that he always walked by every day, and then suddenly one day it was completely empty. There was nobody there, but it was wide open for anyone to just walk through. And my contention here is we have only his word for the fact of anything with this warehouse. It could just be an empty warehouse, and sometimes the door is open and sometimes the door is closed. Whoever owns it, they come there for some reason, or it's vagrants or what have you. Or it belongs to a funeral home, since he did once photograph a hearse inside of it.
Did he photograph it? Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, there's a picture of it.
That. So
Let's
the
see
whole
if I can-
warehouse storyline was that he had a dream that the boy was dragging him by the arm through an empty warehouse, an abandoned warehouse. And so then he woke up, he gets a shower, and he realizes that he has a bruise on his arm where he says that boy was dragging him. So then he leaves the house to go do something, and the warehouse that's right there by his apartment is suddenly abandoned when it wasn't before. And the only thing that he sees in it is a solitary green chair. Now, it's not the same as his green chair, but it is a green chair. And he thinks that is like an omen, or I don't know, whatever it is that he thinks. And then, yeah, he goes on to go by one day and sees a hearse in it. And I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, really.
You know.
It is interesting. I mean, he's telling a great story. It's captivating, and you get really into it. But there's the picture of the hearse there, right there. That's the picture he allegedly took.
Yeah. And if he said that it used to be a food cart repair shop. So if it was a food cart repair shop before it closed up, then would seeing a hearse in it be that unusual? Because a hearse is a vehicle that could be repaired. I don't know.
I mean, that's a good point. So I'm trying to find now an actual picture, because he woke up in the middle of the night out of one of his, I'm going to call it sleep paralysis dreams, because one of my other theories is it very well could be sleep paralysis. and he took a picture in the dark. I think it's this one.
Oh,
and you
man.
zoom in on it and you see this image. But now, here's the thing. We don't have camera footage. We only have a photograph. And if I'm being honest, this could so easily just be a doll that he plopped there.
Yeah. It is. It does have some transparent-y looking features to it, but I'm no photographer, but I think that you can achieve that if you want to.
Sure.
And I will give him some credit. These photos are creepy as crap. Like,
yeah, they are.
There were a few of them that he shows, and I was just like, oh, no. Like, what just happened? I need to process this. Hold on. So.
Indeed.
Yeah, I dig the photos for the creep factor, but when you really analyze it, it's like, could you do that?
It's so easy to fake this whole thing.
Yeah.
And that is, well, I'll go into my, what is it called? My coup de grace. What's the word? It's like my penultimate point here in my theory.
Yeah.
And before I do that, okay, so sleep paralysis potential. Mental/medical condition. Pareidolia. Or how about this one? Let me go share another screen with you really quick. Hold on. Let me. I'm getting there. Bear with me here. It's going to be so worth it. Share. Here we go. What's this? IMDb. And what's this? Dear David, a movie directed by John McPhail, written by Adam Ellis, based on the Dear David tweets. Down here, it's got a whole cast. It's got a 9.1 rating or something. It had a pretty high rating. And then there's another Dear David movie, right? So
were these made before or after his tweets? One was after because it said it was based on the tweets.
Right. Well, so, this came out. This was 2020, apparently.
Okay. So his tweets were 2017, I believe.
Right. So that was, I saw that and I was like, because I'm watching all this. I'm like, this could just be a publicity stunt for something that's coming up. And lo and behold, I was like, okay, let me, Dear David movie.
Yeah.
Or Dear David book, Dear David movie. Dear David book brought up another book that has nothing to do with ghosts. But then Dear David movie brought me to this IMDb page. And I'm like, okay, the whole thing is just a publicity for the upcoming movie. That's all. And so.
As an author myself, a writer and such, I want to speak about this point. So, looking at it from entertainment value only, I think that this story is freaking amazing. I'm kind of jealous that I didn't think of this storyline before he did, because now I can't do it. But I love it. I love the storyline. I love that he did it on Twitter so that it is fragmented and it's like a found footage movie, but in Twitter. And he's got his little photos and videos, and I love the way the storyline goes, and I love that at the end, spoiler alert, he gets a final photo of Dear David like coming down on top of him while he's sleeping, and then the subtle implication is that he got possessed, but he never says that, of course. Then all the tweets after that are like, I'm okay. Everything will be as it was. And it's like really creepy. Like his tone of writing is different. And the implication is that Dear David is now in him. And I just love that. I think now I'm kind of curious to see the movie because I enjoy the story of it so much.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to watch that movie probably. I was going to say, so one of the other things that I appreciated was just the ingenuity and the creativity. I don't necessarily think we were supposed to ever believe that this was a real thing. I mean, it's quite obviously a story that he's weaving. And, like, kudos, props to you. Go for it. I think it's great. I don't even think he's because he's not doing anything wrong. He's not doing anything illegal by painting this, quote, false picture. But I think we're just supposed to be invested in the story of Dear David, and then we go see the movie, and it's kind of genius.
Yeah.
It's kind of genius.
Truly. Although I do think that at some point he should come out and acknowledge that it's not a true story necessarily, I think. But he doesn't have to. I mean, he doesn't have to. The whole Blair Witch movie, there was like a big buzz about it. Was it actual footage or was it a movie that was made, So
that's a good point. I remember that was wild. People were like throwing up in the movie theater and like getting freaked out because they thought it was real, because it was the first real big found footage movie, and people were like, what is going on? This changes everything. And they had to come out, but they came out, they're like, it's a fictional story, fiction. But sorry, I remembered the other point I was trying to make before that I spaced out and then covered up by going on a long talk about something else. It's interesting to me that his Twitter handle has changed since the Dear David stuff, because he was at Moby Dickhead and now he's at something else. Let me go look at it. He's at Adam Tut's Comics now. So interesting that he maybe wanted that handle associated with the Dear David thing, and now he's moved on from it.
Yeah.
And
his YouTube that I watched, I think it's his because it's called Creepy Elliot, the channel, and his name is Adam Elliot. So I think it's him, and it's videos of him reading his Twitter story, like his Twitter strains showing.
I think he's Adam Ellis, though.
Oh, Ellis.
Ellis, yeah.
Oh, well, maybe that's not him.
That was nice, though.
Creepy Elliot.
That'd be cool.
I don't know.
We can go find out. Here, why not? Let's go to YouTube.
Because I was thinking it's kind of weird for him to read this story to us after the fact if it's supposed to be real. I don't know.
Okay, Creepy Elliot. So this is him. So that doesn't. I don't think that's the same guy.
No, it's not the same guy.
Doesn't really.
That makes me feel a little better, because I was thinking, why would he read it to us if he's supposedly possessed by this kid now? But that makes more sense. Yeah. Yeah,
for sure. So, anyways, that's where I land. Publicity stunt. I pretty much think it's that.
Very
where can
smart
you actually
publicity stunt. And well done, frankly.
I can't tell if this is this a movie you can actually watch? I can't tell.
I don't know.
Dear
I fully intend to figure it out because I want to watch it.
Movie. Dear David movie 2021. Dear David movie release date. Let's Google that. Justin Long. Okay, this is from 7 days ago, HollywoodReporter.com. The film, based on the viral social media ghost story, has wrapped production and is eyeing a fall 2022 release.
Wow. Is it a legit scary movie? Like a big time one that we're going to get to watch? I'm kind of excited about that. I'm not going to lie.
It's being produced by BuzzFeed Studios and Lionsgate. Sorry, go on. I cut you off there.
No, you're good. I was just saying I'm looking forward to it. In reviewing this whole Dear David thing, if I'm reviewing it as a true story, then no, I don't really believe that it's a true story at all.
Sure, yeah.
But as a storyline, and is it interesting, and was I captivated? Yes, all those things. I liked it. So
me too. I was super fascinated watching the videos.
On a scale of 1 to 10 skeptics, I am fully 10 skeptics. Yeah,
fully 10 skeptics. Me too.
It's not a true story.
I was trying to see like what streaming service it might come out on, but I can't really find that information. But fall 2022, so it should come out this year.
Nice.
You know what we should do? A watch party.
Yes, I'm on board.
A Dear David watch party.
Yeah,
love it.
Or I'm on board.
Yeah, okay. We'll talk shop later.
Yeah. We can review it on your podcast.
Great idea.
It has
crossover
to be a Netflix
episode
thing, though. Aww.
It might come out on Netflix.
Maybe.
We'll see.
If it does, we should do it.
I can do a bonus episode for a movie that's not a Netflix movie if I want to.
Exactly. You know why? Because it's your podcast, and you can do what you want.
Listen to my podcast. It's my podcast.
We're podcasters, so in case you didn't know.
We're famous podcasters.
Right?
Listen to our podcast.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't do any of this into the camera like YouTubers
Right?
always do.
Oh my gosh.
We should... Guys, bruh, oh my god, look at the video.
Oh,
I love
telling you,
kids.
that one video I tried to watch about Dear David was two guys, young guys that were like doing a reactionary kind of video to it. Oh my gosh. It was almost all them screaming and like, oh, yo, oh no. And every time a picture came up, they would freak out and lose their crap. And I don't know. I can't do it.
It's all for the drama.
Right?
Yeah. There's a, I had this experience where I wanted to listen to a podcast about Bigfoot, passing interest of mine. Perhaps we'll do Bigfoot videos here at some point.
I dig it.
But what I'm trying to say is this. I couldn't actually listen to it because there was these two just real young guys doing the pod. I mean, they did a great job with the podcast, don't get me wrong, but the way that they would speak, after about 5 minutes, I went, you know what? I can't listen. I'm sorry, guys. You've got a great thing going here, but there's like no enunciation and stuff when they talk to each other. And, like, I'm not trying to make fun of special needs people. I'm just saying that was their regular way of talking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to tell you, the way kids talk these days.
Yes, the way
it's
they
hard
do.
to understand.
Young folks. We're giving away our age. You know that, right?
That's
Back
fine.
in my day.
Hey, listen. If you're between the ages of 35 and 45, you'll love us. We're podcasters.
We're YouTubers now. What?
Oh, yeah.
We can put a new thing on our resume. Wait, are resumes things that old people do?
I think young people still do resumes, but it has to be one page and very concise.
Yeah.
They can't talk themselves up. I read a whole article on the best way to resume.
The best way to resume.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I like it. All right, so that's our deal for this one. Dear David, we are 10 out of 10 skeptics. Do you like that rating system, skeptics?
I love that. 10 out of 10 skeptics.
Yeah, we're 10 out of 10. It's fully not real in our humble opinions, But I do recommend that you click the links for these people's videos that I'm going to put in the description, and you watch their videos, because if you want to be entertained, it's there. I like it. I'm a fan. So that's my 2 cents.
Me too.
Yeah.
Great story.
All right. Well, thank you for hanging with us, and we'll see you next time. And you know what? If you guys have an idea of something that you want us to look into, put it in the comments, and we will totally do that. So,
rock and roll.
yeah, till next time, we'll spook you later.